Managing SAP on Azure comes with its own set of challenges. Automation, security, and access control often get overlooked until they become blockers. But what if you could proactively solve these with a few native tools, saving time, reducing risk, and improving operational efficiency? In this video, we will explore how Azure Automation, Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and just-in-time VM access come together to streamline your SAP operations. We will break down real-world scenarios, use cases, and we will also see live demos to share practical tips which you can apply right away. Let's power up your Azure governance game, starting with automation.
If you're new here, my name is Rajdeep. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer and a solution architect, helping clients build amazing solutions every day. And we are on a mission to make learning fun as well as crack certifications in that process.
Welcome to AZ120 SAP Workloads on Azure series, and in this series we are discussing identity and governance for SAP on Azure. Topic 1: Azure Automation Account. What is that? Azure Automation is a cloud service that lets you automate repetitive tasks like switching a virtual machine on or off on a schedule, deploying resources, and configuring environments, all without manual intervention. You can author runbooks in PowerShell or Python, and Azure Automation is simple yet extremely powerful tool which you can use in your SAP on Azure environment. Let's take an example. Suppose you have 3 environments: Dev, Test, and Production. A Dev environment consists of 10 virtual machines, Test contains 20, and Production has 30 virtual machines. If you want to save money, a simple trick is to switch off the dev environment when not in use, since developers won't need a dev environment during out of office hours. You can do the same for the test environment as well. But how do you do that with automation? So here comes Azure Automation. Azure Automation can switch off or on your virtual machines on schedule by running a script. Isn't that cool? It may save hundreds of dollars in a month and probably 1,000 in a year. This is just one of the capabilities of Azure Automation. It can do more, like maintain a desired state of the virtual machine. What is desired state? Well, it simply means ensuring if someone installs a software or changes a registry key on virtual machine, those changes will get reverted back if they do not fall under the desired state of the virtual machine. Azure Automation account knows what is the desired state of the machine, and it will not allow it to budge from that desired state. Also, you can use Azure Automation account to update and patch your virtual machines. You can even manage your on-prem resources with Azure Automation account. Let's understand how Azure Automation account delivers these services. Well, Azure Automation primarily works on these areas. Process automation supports the integration of Azure services and other public systems required in deploying, configuring, and managing end-to-end processes. Configuration management enables change tracking and inventory. It also supports role-based access control, which means you can control who has access to the Azure Automation account and what changes can you publish into the environment. It provides heterogeneous support as well. What is heterogeneous support? It is compatible with Windows and Linux accounts. Let's head over to the Azure portal and let's see how Azure Automation account functions. Let's log into our Azure portal. We will create a new resource group. Let us now create an automation account here, and we will just give it a name and the location same as the resource group. There are 2 managed identities here. One is system assigned managed identity and another one is user assigned managed identity. Now what does that mean? System assigned identity is linked to this automation account and it gets deleted once we delete the automation account, while user assigned identity is a unique identity with which you can create multiple Azure Automation accounts. Now we will create a system assigned identity here. In the connectivity configuration, we can select public or private access. As of now, for testing purposes, we'll keep this public and we'll create the automation account. Well, our automation account is created. Let's go to the resource, and here you can see the overview of the automation account, the location, the subscription, and everything. Now let us look at the core components of the automation account. As we discussed earlier, we have process automation, configuration management, we have schedules, shared resources. Let's look at some of the important components. Runbooks, these are the scripts that define the automation tasks. You have modules. These are packages with commands which you can use in your runbooks. As you can see, you have AZ accounts, AZ AKS, and so on. You can manage the credentials with which you can connect with Azure subscription. You also have hybrid worker groups or hybrid runbook workers. You can run automation on-prem or on other clouds as well using these. Apart from that, you also have jobs. When we created the automation account, we select managed identity. Let's go into Microsoft Entra and check the system assigned managed identity. We will go to Manage and Enterprise Applications. We will go to Managed Identities, and here we can see there is Automation Account 1, which is basically the automation account managed identity which we had created. Now, in order to test this automation account, I will be creating a virtual machine and we will use automation to switch off the virtual machine. So let me go ahead and do that. Let's understand the script which we had created. The first part of the script declares the parameters. The next part basically uses a disable autosave to avoid context conflicts. The next part connects to the Azure Automation account using the managed identity. Then we get the status of the VM with the resource group and VM parameters which we had created earlier, and test if the VM is running. If the VM is running, it will stop it. If not, it will not do anything, and it will just display a message that the VM is already stopped or deallocated. So the runbook is published now. As you can see, authoring status says published. Let's try to run this. We'll click on start. Now we must provide the name of the resource group. Now we have created the VM test VM. So we'll just copy the name of the resource group here, paste it under resource group name, and similarly we will provide the VM name, and that's it. Now you can see under process automation, there will be a job which is right now in queued status. Once the job is finished, it will change the status to finished. Let's come back to the VM and check if it is still running. We'll refresh the status of the job and it is saying running, which means the runbook is right now executing. Now we can see the status of the VM has changed to deallocating, which means it is shutting down. Let's refresh, and now we can see the VM status has been changed to stop deallocated, which means the VM has been shut down. Let's refresh the job status and it is said completed. Now this is just a demo of one virtual machine. You can add multiple virtual machines. You can also add this runbook to a schedule. Now if you click on the runbook, you can link it to a schedule, which means you can tell when exactly this runbook needs to run. Let's understand what are the other possibilities that you have with the automation account. Well, you can automate your security operations. You can use runbooks to automate your security monitoring, threat detection, and remediation workflow for SAP workloads. And you can leverage Azure Security Center and Microsoft Defender for Cloud. You can also perform automated monitoring and alerting. You can integrate your Azure Automation with Azure Monitor for SAP solutions to automatically respond to alerts, events, perform system health checks, and remediate common issues without human intervention. Speaking of Defender, let's come to the next topic, which is Microsoft Defender for Cloud. If you made it this far, hit that like button. This helps the video reach more people. Microsoft Defender for Cloud is Microsoft's cross-platform solution that offers visibility, control, and protection for cloud applications. It can provide insights into cloud app usage and risks. It strengthens the security posture of the cloud resources, and it protects workloads in Azure as well as on-prem, even on AWS and Google Cloud. Let's understand why is it important. Now, Defender provides a continuous security posture management which helps identify misconfiguration and vulnerabilities. It protects your SAP workloads from cyber attacks by performing compliance monitoring according to industry regulations to protect sensitive business data. It also integrates with Sentinel for SAP specific security monitoring and security response. And Defender provides an early view on your development activities, provides insights and remediation guidance across your CI/CD pipelines and code repos to help you in your DevSecOps. Now, Defender is important since it ensures cloud resources remain secure, compliant, and resilient against evolving cyber attacks or threats. Let's understand how Defender works. Now, Defender performs a continuous security assessment on your cloud or on-prem resources via its Cloud Security Posture Management, also called as CSPM. It's similar to a security guard circling your building to check the security posture of your building. It provides security alerts using Cloud Workload Protection or CWP, powered by Microsoft's Threat Intelligence. It uses AI and machine learning for threat detection, and it can integrate with endpoint protection services to protect your virtual machines, containers, and databases. It can continuously scan your environment for compliance, and it can check against the frameworks like HIPAA and GDPR. So when is Defender used? It's used for protection for Azure hybrid environments, multi-cloud environments, PaaS, data services, and networks. And who is this for? This is normally used by cloud security teams, infrastructure architects, DevOps, and DevSecOps teams. Even application owners and developers can use this tool. Let's look into the Azure portal and have a view on the Defender. Now let's look into the Azure portal and have a view on Microsoft Defender. Let's click on Microsoft Defender, and as soon as you click there, you will see that an overall security posture of our subscription is displayed here. The security posture signifies CSPM, which is Cloud Security Posture Management, and you can also see that we have Workload Protection, which is CWP, which is Cloud Workload Protection. You can also see that there are options to add multiple cloud providers here like AWS and GCP. If we click on that security posture, there's a security score which has been assigned to our subscription, which is 33% now. It's quite bad. That's because we don't really have many resources here and we have not added any security postures in this. You can also see there is an option called regulatory compliance. So here, if we click on this, we can see various security compliance controls here, which we can enable or which we can comply with. Under Cloud Workload Protection, you can enhance your threat protection capabilities by clicking here and adding different options like VM vulnerability assessment, just-in-time VM access, and container image scanning, and so on and so forth. You can also look at recommendations to find out what are the recommendations which have been assigned by Defender for this particular subscription. For example, for our VM, it's saying that enable Azure disk encryption or encryption at host because this VM is exposed to internet. There should be more than one owner assigned to the subscription and various security measures with risk level assigned to it like medium, low, and so on. You want to remediate it, you'll click on the recommendation and you can see the steps required to take action. We can also see if there are any security alerts pertaining to any of the resources which are there in our subscription. We also have an option of data and AI security. We also have a firewall manager wherein you can completely manage the firewall. You can also start your DevSecOps journey by enabling DevOps security. So Microsoft Defender for Cloud basically reduces your risk of security by giving continuous visibility and automated threat detection. If misconfigurations and vulnerabilities go unnoticed for long, they can lead to costly downtime, data loss, or compliance failures. Hence, Defender for Cloud is a perfect solution, which is a single pane of glass. You can manage your complex hybrid or multi-cloud environments. Now let's look at our next topic, which is remote management of Azure virtual machines. Why would you do it? You would like to manage the SAP virtual machine configurations. Note, we're talking about configuration inside the virtual machine. So what are the options available? You have Azure Automation, as we discussed earlier. There is a desired state. What is desired state? It basically monitors and automatically updates the machine configuration across physical and virtual machines. You have another option called SAP Llama, which is SAP Landscape Management Solution. It can be used to operate, monitor, and refresh SAP Landscape. SAP Llama 3.0 SP5 ships with an inbuilt Azure connector. This connector can be used to deallocate, start virtual machines, copy and relocate managed disks, and delete managed disks. Another topic related to manageability, or rather access to VM with applications or database, is JIT, or just-in-time VM access. Let's explore what it is. JIT is an Azure security feature provided by Microsoft Defender that protects virtual machines, restricts access to management ports like RDP or SSH round the clock, and it only allows you to access the virtual machine when you need it. JIT helps reduce the exposure to attacks by keeping the management ports closed unless truly needed. It enforces least privilege access, so user only gets access when, where, and for as long as necessary. It provides detailed auditing for all access events, supports security and compliance requirements. Now let's understand how you can enable JIT in our Azure portal. We will use the same VM which we had created earlier. Go to settings, under configuration, you will find there's an option just-in-time VM access. Now, in order to enable this, you have to basically upgrade the Defender plan. I'll not do that right now, but basically this is the option. Once you do that, the ports 3389 and SSH port will get blocked, and they will only get enabled when you specifically need access or you request access and an administrator approves you to log into the virtual machine. Let's quickly recap what we covered today. We covered Azure Automation, which helps you schedule tasks, maintain VM states, and even cut down cloud cost with intelligent runbooks. We explored Microsoft Defender for Cloud, which offers continuous security posture management, compliance tracking, and protection across hybrid and multi-cloud environments, especially critical for SAP. We also had a quick view in just-in-time VM access, which locks down your VM from unwanted access and opens them up only when truly needed, reducing your attack surface and increasing accountability. Together, these tools help you create a secure, automated, and cost-effective SAP landscape on Azure. If this saved you a headache, hit that like button, subscribe for more SAP Azure deep dives every week. If you have got stuck, comment below. I read every one of them. If you found value in this video, hit like and share it with your team, and don't forget to subscribe to CertHeads for more deep dive into SAP on Azure and your exam. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.